Tonight on the podcast, we're going to be talking all things Star Wars Celebration and Thor's butt, as well as the wonderful, wonderful first two episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan.
Thank you for tuning in to the Absolute Geek Podcast. It is Friday in Phoenix, and while Matt is away sweating his balls off at the Comic-Con or the...
He's not. He didn't go.
He didn't even go?
No, his Logan is being a pill, so he couldn't go, and he's been dealing with that all day. But he and I will be together tomorrow.
Well, when I'm not getting interrupted doing the intro, I'm Max.
Oh, I'm Lance, and I'm in a fishbowl.
Yeah, you are, dude. You are.
Dude, I don't know what
blurry.
the fuck is going on, man. Dude, it's my first podcast in like, 3 or 4 weeks, and nothing's working.
This is your first time using the new PC, right? You're probably just
for the podcast, yeah.
For the podcast, yeah.
But I've used it for like work stuff.
Fair enough.
But let me see, Logitech. So right now I'm trying to access my camera app. And of course it says an update is ready to be installed. Fuck you, Logitech.
Oh man. Well, how's your week been, dude?
It's good, man. I'm just I've just been so freaking busy, dude. Like, it's been insane, and with school and work, and I was in Vegas last week for work, which that went very well. And yeah, man, it's just been crazy. And then we're going to be at Fan Fusion tomorrow. Normally all my homework is due on Saturdays. And so I sat down on my computer, like I took my kids to see Doctor Strange again today. And I'm like, okay, I'll get home. We went at like 11 o'clock. I'll get home, do my homework, start the show, not have to worry about it through the weekend. And I can't log in to my classes. Like, the whole network's down.
Yeah, that's frustrating, dude.
It's fucking annoying. Yes. So I'm a little agitated, but great that I was able to watch Obi-Wan this morning. That was awesome. That show's going to be great, I think.
Yeah, that's going to be the last topic of the night, but I was pretty darn excited last night when all of a sudden I get, I look at social media and it says, hey, it's releasing at 9 Pacific time instead of at midnight. I was like, heck yeah, dude. Like, I was considering staying up until midnight to watch it because, that's the kind of Star Wars fan I am. But now I didn't have to. So that was great.
Yeah, it's my understanding that they were trying, because another show came out.
Oh, yeah, Stranger Things.
Yeah, so it's my understanding, or the hypothesis on the Twitterverse has been that Disney was trying to get in front of that.
Maybe it might have just been, Star Wars celebrations going on, and they decided to throw a surprise at the fans. I don't know, but it worked because I haven't seen anyone talking about Stranger Things today. All I've seen is talk of Kenobi. But that could be my group of friends too.
Well, you know me, I'm not a big Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
I opted to watch Kenobi before Stranger Things. I haven't even started Stranger Things yet. In fact, before the show, I was watching Shoresy on Hulu. I haven't been I've been vocal about the fact that I'm not that interested in Stranger Things, and I'm hearing that this season's kind of a dud anyways.
Really? I haven't heard really much of anything about it so far. I just haven't had time to watch it. I watched Obi-Wan last night, and then I've been working all day, and now here I am on the podcast. So
here we are on the podcast. Enjoy our fucking face.
Absolutely. But I mean, I'm looking forward to Stranger Things, but if it's going to come down between Star Wars and Stranger Things,
absolutely,
you know what I'm going to choose.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's crazy with your homework not being able to log in. My week's been pretty good overall. Nothing really crazy that I need to report, but yeah, it's been good. I'm in a good mood. I'm, working
Dude,
on all my licensing and gonna take a test on Wednesday, and I'm feeling good about it.
dude. So I'm totally rooting for you. Want you to pass it, and I know you will. But a bummer that you won't be with Matt and I at Fan Fusion tomorrow.
Yeah, it is a bummer, but elected to take some more time to study.
So my camera has this cool zoom thing. Is this how Matt looks like he's like 2 inches away from the screen?
It might be.
So interesting enough. So my camera apparently has autofocus. I turned it off and now I look great. I look like my regular sexy self. Let's zoom in real far there so you can see how sexy I actually look. Let's see. What do you think? Should I pull a Matt and just get as close as I can to the
we're like right in on your eyes.
Right. Oh, right in on my eyes. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's go in a little bit more.
Looking good, man.
Oh, I think I maxed it out. They said, "No, man, you can't get that close to the webcam. You're too sexy and you'll break it."
That's exactly what's going on.
Okay,
now I'm wondering if I'm supposed to have software for mine.
I downloaded it. It's called Logic. It's called Logi. What's it called? Logitune, I think it's called.
Logitune download. All right, I'm looking at this.
Logitune, one word. Yeah, look how I think I look better. Like you don't see, like, yeah, you can't see my cool toys and shit, but whatever.
Well, honestly, I might take advantage of it for work-related stuff because I'm always, I've always got all this crap in the background. But if I
have a background, but now, like when I'm at work, because they always get mad at me because like I have an awesome chair, so I'll just be like, whatever, like lean back a little bit. They don't get mad at me. It's my coworker that's like, "You look so unprofessional right now." I was like, "Well, dude, my fucking back hurts. I'm old." As you can tell, I'm not
business.
Right. Anytime I fold my arms, I get an IM. I'm like,
seriously?
Right, dude. Yeah, he's he's ex-military. I love the dude. He's one of my favorite people, but he's a little bit rigid.
Yeah, that's
and I don't care if he hears this because I think he knows it. He's a little rigid. So love the dude though. I advocated for him to get this job before I got it.
I just realized I got muted somehow. That might have been me that muted myself, but
yeah, you're coming in through a different mic too.
What?
Yeah. Well, this is not our 317th episode. You'd think we'd learn how to do this, but apparently we're having focus issues. We're learning new shit about our cameras. Sticks is probably telling me, "Hey, can you not zoom in so close?" I think he's he wants me to do something real quick. Let me do this real quick.
All right, let's do it.
Let me see here. Logitune. All right, let's zoom in all the way. And then we're gonna go like this. We're gonna go like this. Howdy, neighbor.
That's what he was trying to get you to do. Okay. I was like, what is going on right now?
Well, Tim, sometimes boys will be boys. I don't know what he says.
I don't remember what he says either. But yeah, that's crazy with the coworker getting all on your case about that, dude.
He doesn't get on my case. He's looking out. He's looking out. I get it. It's just I'm not as concerned about that stuff as he is. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna give people motion sickness the more I fucking mess with this thing. But isn't that weird? What is that?
Technical difficulties. Don't worry about it, I guess.
Oh wow. No, it's just I don't care as much about that. But I've also worked in the same department for 5 years now, and I know what my demeanor can be, and not worried about it. So we thought it was going to be the Lance technical difficulties hour of the day, and Max isn't even with me anymore. Jeez, where's Matt when you need him?
I'm here.
Some professionalism would be nice, Max.
What the hell?
Some professionalism, sir.
I don't know what's going on.
These technical difficulties are brought to you by Manscaped.
Yeah.
No, yeah, man. So I don't know. Stumbling Jedi says, Max, what the fuck? I can curse as much as I want because Max is coming in and out. So fuck, fuckity, fuck, fuck, fuck.
Hey, man, I can still talk. I'm here.
So
But
you try you downloaded Logitune, didn't you?
I did, and it's messing with my whole
Yeah,
thing.
so now it's like reconfiguring your stuff.
Yeah, it must be. Because now
Yeah.
I can zoom in on myself and whatnot, but I can't.
Just go to the settings and make sure it's coming in through your camera. But
Yeah.
at least we can talk, so it's not just the Lance show.
Yeah, I'm here. It's all good. We can
Sticks
talk.
blames Mr. Roboto.
I do too.
Domi arigato, Mr. Roboto.
I'm actually gonna unplug my freaking camera, but keep talking. I'm here.
Yeah, so dude, I started watching Shoresy, and I texted this to you guys. I don't think I can ever go to Canada because I think I will have marital problems because I don't know, don't have a lot of interaction with Canada, but so far, I mean, Ryan Reynolds is from there. All the people from Letterkenny and Shoresy, lots of people, and I think it's just a country full of beautiful people, and I should not go because I will get. Not to say that any of them would even want to mess with me.
Right.
I probably look like gutter trash to them, but if they all look like Ryan Reynolds and Katie from there, he is.
I'm here.
If they all look like Katie from Letterkenny and Ryan Reynolds and stuff, yeah, I probably look like gutter trash. You know what's funny? So I was saying like, oh, I haven't really cared about Stranger Things. Like I've been pretty vocal about it. Look what shirt I'm wearing.
Oh, is that it? Yeah, that's a Stranger Things shirt.
I'm a bit of a hypocrite.
There we go, guys. I'm gonna podcast just like this.
Oh yeah, I've been closer to your face.
You've been closer to my face. That's true. We're having a little too much fun over here.
Yeah. Well, this is what happened when Matt's not on the podcast. We don't have to be such rigid assholes. No, I'm just kidding. Matt is not a rigid asshole.
Oh man, I literally though was in a work meeting with my boss earlier today. With this is all my background, so it's all fun. And games.
Oh, it's Friday.
Yeah, man, it's Friday. I worked like most of America.
Awesome.
All right, let's get into some geek news. All right,
geek news.
Yeah,
put your headphones on. It's time for geek news. Listen to us talk about geek news.
Today we're going to be talking a lot about Star Wars Celebration, and so to kick things off, we're going to talk about something not Star Wars related, which is the fact that
it's George Lucas.
It is, and it was part of Star Wars Celebration. Indiana Jones 5. Adjacent. This is the first image that was revealed from the movie, and they confirmed a June 30th, 2023 release date. I'm sure
I figured out the whole plot of the movie from this picture.
Oh yeah, what's the whole plot?
He is looking for something, and sometimes it'll be dark, and he needs a flashlight.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 Indiana Jones 5.
So Tyler, who some listeners may know, he made a joke earlier today that I thought was funny. He was like, "Are they making sure that all of the tombs and caves that he's going into have wheelchair access?" Because I feel like that's important.
For Harrison Ford, yes, it is. Yeah,
no,
dude,
he's in pretty good health, but he's pretty old now.
Yeah, he's late 60s, 70s, I think.
Yeah.
Speaking of someone who is not old, well, first before I transition, because I don't know if it's in the slides or not, but uh-oh.
What?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're good.
Something happened.
You're good.
There it goes.
Anyway, so what were you wondering if it's in the slides or not?
The certain person passing away.
It is not in the slides. So if you want to bring that up now, please.
Yeah, I'll bring it up here in a minute. But so I've been pretty vocal about the fact that when Top Gun Maverick was announced, I said, who asked for this movie? Why is it being made? We don't need sequels 20 years after 30 years after the original movie came out. I was proven wrong with Ghostbusters, which I always thought Ghostbusters was going to be awesome because I'm a Ghostbusters fan. So even if it was a big piece of dog shit. If it was one iota better than the reboot they did in 2015, I would have enjoyed it. But Top Gun apparently is proving me wrong. Maybe this one will prove me wrong. But as of right now, I'm saying, do we really need another Indiana Jones?
I think so. I'm excited for it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And I have also heard, and from Styx actually, and others, that Top Gun Maverick is outstanding. But it's been so long since I saw the original Top Gun that I started
Yeah.
watching it again yesterday, and I don't remember anything.
I gotta watch it again because
Anything.
there's a lot of callbacks to the original. You know, a lot of the story has to do with Rooster. Iceman makes an appearance, so there's a lot of stuff in this movie that will require me to watch the original to understand what's going on because it's been a long time. How long
Yeah.
ago did that movie come out?
86.
86.
Yeah.
So 36 years ago, that movie came out. That's why I don't remember it. I was 1 year old.
I wasn't even thought of.
I'm sure you were thought of.
I might have been thought of.
Knowing your parents, they probably got married and had a whole life plan.
Fair enough.
No.
I was
Your parents just seem like preppers.
Sure.
Right? Like they're set in life, was what I'm saying. Like they seem to have very thought out like plan of what their life was going to look like. So I'm sure you were thought of.
Fair enough. You took that down a very serious road when I was just trying to be silly.
I'm just saying your parents are very successful people.
Yes, they are.
You don't get that success by not planning.
Yeah.
No. Well, do you remember the last debacle with Indiana Jones? Like that movie was hot shit.
I do, and I still need to like watch that movie because I haven't really seen it.
Patrick, what's up, buddy?
I watched it, but I fell asleep like halfway through and didn't ever see the end.
There's aliens.
I remember something about like a nuke and a refrigerator.
Yeah, which would not work.
No, definitely not.
And there aliens at the end. I mean, not what I had thought Indiana Jones. I don't know. It was just
Indiana Jones goes supernatural, doesn't usually go extraterrestrial. So
yeah, it just seemed completely out of place.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, it's bad. So
what I would have wanted them to. Oh, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say I hope this one's good. I mean, we've got a year until it comes out. Maybe we'll get a trailer in like 6 months. Who knows? But
this is the 5th movie, right?
Yeah.
You know what's funny is this image looks like a number 4.
Why is that?
You don't see it? The light is forming the number 4 and then him in the middle of it.
No.
Oh, come on, dude. It looks like a number 4. Maybe. Well, what I was trying to say, I was going to be dumb. What I was trying to say is it looks like a number 4 to me. And maybe they're just trying to make us forget about the last one.
Maybe.
You don't see it at all that it looks like a number 4?
I mean, if I really stretch my mind, but
maybe that's just my graphic design sense. I look for themes like that. I don't know. I see a number 4.
I don't.
Like if you look at the light, right?
I see the light, yeah.
And then you look at the rope cutting it across. Okay. That right there would make a number 4. And then his silhouette in the middle kind of cuts it in a way that make it look like a number 4.
Okay, I can see the 4 now when you say that.
I'm sure that they didn't intend that. I just thought it was funny that the last movie was so universally hated. Like I haven't met one person that likes it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me neither.
What I would wish is Indiana Jones and Uncharted are such similar ideas as far as that supernatural element and stuff that we would have just gotten, take this story, make a Uncharted story that actually follows the games. I'm sure it's going to feel like Uncharted. Harrison Ford is 79 years old. He's almost 80.
Yeah.
He is geriatric.
And you know what? Whatever. Like, that's fine. There's going to be action coming from other characters. He can still shoot a gun. You could be 100 years old and shoot a gun. So,
yeah.
I guess if your bones are brittle enough, the kick back on a gun could break your bones.
But he is married to Callista Flockhart, who's, I think, probably in her 50s or something, 40s or something.
There you go. So he's got the dexterity of a 60-year-old.
And he's rocking that one earring. He's hip.
Yeah, he is.
He's with the cool kids.
Yeah.
No, so what I was going to transition to earlier was, Harrison Ford is an older gentleman, but who was not old, who passed away just a couple days ago at 67. Ray Liotta of Goodfellas and Field of Dreams, one of the greatest movies ever, one of my favorite movies, passed away in his sleep in Dominican Republic, I think. Did I just say Dominican Republican?
No, you said Dominican Republic, I think.
Okay. Well, I meant Dominican Republic, but yeah, dude, he passed away.
Yeah,
Super sad.
I was surprised. Yeah, rest in peace, Ray Liotta. To be honest, I haven't seen a ton of movies with him in it. I've seen Goodfellas,
Oh
um,
yeah,
but still, like that's too bad. He's 67 years old. I think that's younger than my dad.
you've seen Field of Dreams.
I have, but I didn't realize he was in it.
Yeah, he plays Shoeless Joe.
I haven't seen it in a long time, and I haven't seen Field of Dreams since I knew who Ray Liotta was. I watched it all the time growing up, but I didn't know who Ray Liotta was until probably the last 4 years.
I think Shoeless Joe, if I'm not mistaken, in that movie is the first one to come through the field. He's like solo. It's just him. He's the one that goes and plays a little one-on-one with Kevin Costner, and then later he comes back with all his buddies. I'm pretty sure it's him.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Now I want to watch Field of Dreams. It was one of my favorite movies growing up. I just loved
it's
that
such
movie.
a great movie. It's dude, it's a tearjerker.
And sure. now that I'm like looking at pictures from the movie, I'm like, holy crap, yeah, of course that's Ray Liotta. Just at the time when I watched it, I didn't know
he was
who
in
Ray
Hannah.
Liotta was.
He was in Hannah, the TV show.
That's right. He was in Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was in, what else would you have seen here? Marriage Story. You watched Marriage Story, right?
I did.
He was in that.
That was a great movie.
He was in let's see here. What's another one that I know you would have seen? Place Beyond the Pines. Fantastic movie.
He was in that?
Mm-hmm. He plays DeLuca. And I'm cheating a little bit. I'm looking at his IMDb.
Oh, of course.
He was in Hannah Montana, the TV series.
I did not see that.
Come on, you saw it.
I did not.
It's your favorite movie.
Absolutely. Best thing I've ever seen. It's amazing
show. Sorry.
Cinema.
And Smoking Aces. That was a badass movie too.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, Smoking Aces was awesome. But yeah, and Hannibal. One of my favorite Hannibal Lecter scenes in any of the movies. He is sitting there. It's I want to say it's not Anthony Hopkins. I want to say it's the young Hannibal. I think is when he was young, and he cuts his head open and cuts a piece of his brain out, puts it on a skillet, and then feeds it to Ray Liotta. So like cuts Ray Liotta, little piece of Ray Liotta's brain out, puts it on a skillet, cooks it, and then feeds it to Ray Liotta.
Oh, that is
his
disturbing.
Own brain. Yeah, and that scene stuck with me. I don't remember if Hannibal is a very good movie, but I remember that scene. The other scene in that movie that's pretty crazy is I think it's that one. There's a dude sitting in like one of those.
Anthony Hopkins plays Hannibal in that. They just like de-aged him to seem younger.
Oh, really? There's a scene in that movie where there's a dude sitting in like an old banker's chair, like an office chair, but like those wooden ones. And I'm guessing it's Hannibal, cuts open, like slices his gut, and then rolls the chair off the balcony, and you see all of this guy's guts fall out. Ugh. It's fucked up. Copland, yeah. Unlawful Entry, Goodfellas. Wasn't there a sequel to Goodfellas? Did they make a sequel to Goodfellas?
Not that I recall.
Or is that the other? Oh no, it's Get Shorty. They made a sequel to.
Goodfellas was a great movie, though, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's classic in the game. What would you call that? A gangster movie, mob movie?
Yeah, it's a mob movie for sure. Mafia,
yeah.
Yeah. I want to say both Get Shorty and Goodfellas has Joe Pesci in it, I think. Oh no, Get Shorty has Danny DeVito. That's who it is. But
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, what's next? I didn't mean to take us down a morbid lane or anything, but
You're good. The rest of the show, except for a small detour about Thor's booty, is Star Wars. So let's get started. We're going to talk about a couple of TV show release dates in the Star Wars world.
I didn't
Obviously, we
watch the
got.
Andor trailer.
You haven't watched the Andor trailer?
No,
Well,
I meant to, and I did not.
I'll say you're not missing much, and not because it's a bad trailer, in my opinion. I don't think it's bad, but it just doesn't really show much. It's very much a tease, just kind of giving you an idea of the tone of the show. But Andor is coming August 31st, and then Mandalorian season 3 they announced is coming out February of next year. I was kind of shocked and a little bummed to hear that. I was really hoping we'd get Mando season 3 by the end of the year, especially because like 2020, right? Yeah, that was the last time we got any of like the Mandalorian show, other than Boba
Yeah, we got a
Fett.
little tease in Boba Fett.
Yeah, we did.
What,
But
last 3 episodes or
it
something?
was the end of 2020. That's the last time we saw the Mandalorian. So, I mean, and in some regards, like I get it. Like a couple things. I mean, why Pedro Pascal has been busy. He's a very in-demand actor. And then on top of that, I know that the production quality of these, they try to make them really high quality. And I don't know exactly what they're doing as far as like shooting them, but I'm pretty sure that they're shooting most of these, if not all of them, in that like special studio that they have. It's all indoors, but it looks like they're really outside. It's really impressive.
They have a
And
special studio?
yeah, they have like the special technology they started using on The Mandalorian, and I'm pretty sure the other shows are using it too, to where pretty much none of the sets that they're on are actually outside. It's all just shot inside with these special cameras that make it appear like they're in an outdoor location. And I think that's how they've been able to get away with some of the surprises in these shows. Like, I'm not going to say anything about Obi-Wan. I don't want to ruin any of that until we get to it. But you know, for instance, people by now know that Luke was in The Mandalorian, and no one knew about that really ahead of time. Or when Luke and Ahsoka were on Book of Boba Fett, we didn't know that was going to happen, or that Mando was going to be in it, like any of that. And I think that they've been able to keep that hidden because it's like all filmed at this special indoor studio, and they can sneak these actors in probably in like, you know, fully tinted vehicles, and so no one knows. You know, it's not the same thing as when you're filming outside. I forgot to even put it in the slides, but like Blue Beetle, we got some set photos of that. Like we know what his costume looks like ahead of official releases because of that. Whereas I'm kind of glad Star Wars doesn't have that issue. I love that I'm being surprised. There was stuff in Obi-Wan that I did not know was going to be there, and I was really happy.
So is this only available for Star Wars? Because it sounds like they could use it for Marvel too, because I would say Marvel gets spoiled a lot.
I don't think they're using it for Marvel. I think it's only being used for Star Wars.
I mean, they're both Disney. They should. Or Disney
should
take a page out of Star Wars book. Or Marvel should take a page.
Yeah, develop additional studios of that nature, whatnot.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm just tired of all the spoilers, man. Like,
yeah, I get it.
People put this stuff out. They don't give you spoiler warnings. Like, it's annoying.
Oh, dude, I was pissed, dude. This website, Fandom Wire, released an article earlier today that I'm not going to say what the headline was, but the headline was a massive spoiler for Obi-Wan. And I'm like,
oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like, come on, what is wrong with you guys? Like
for the episode that I already saw.
Yeah,
or future episodes.
No, it's for the episodes that just released. So I didn't have anything spoiled for me. But if you're not someone that was able to watch it last night before going to bed, and you wake up in the morning and now you're just scrolling your social media before you've had a chance to watch it, there you go. Now a big thing spoiled for you. Like,
yeah, there's gotta be a level. Like, we are so careful when it comes to spoiling stuff for people. Like, we give 50 million spoiler warnings. Like, we're constantly saying it. We put it at the bottom of the screen. With Spider-Man, we waited a whole like week or two to even do any. Oh shit, I'm trying to find speaking of Thor's booty, someone did like a custom Funko of that scene, and I've been trying to find it. But like, we're so careful. And then you got these people on Twitter and stuff that are like, to hell with everyone, you know.
Yep.
Thor dies in this movie or something, you know. Like,
no, they just,
or Obi-Wan has a sex change in episode 2.
It's a cultural thing. Some cultures don't care about spoilers, and that's not, not a thing that they worry about. Anyway, getting back to Andor and the Mandalorian. So yeah, Andor, they released a trailer. It's, I don't know, a minute 45 seconds or something like that. It's interesting. It's setting the tone of the show. We know that it takes place obviously before Rogue One. So, it's in the earlier days of the Empire. The trailer actually shows clone troopers. So I'm wondering how early days of the Empire this is, because the clone troopers were phased out
Wait,
fairly
what? I
early.
don't know if you guys know the name of our episode tonight is Max Explains Kenobi. So
Okay.
wait, which did Kenobi had Clone Walker or Clone
Andor, the
Clone?
trailer.
Oh, it
The
had
trailer
okay.
for Andor had
What are they
clone
called?
troopers
Clone
in it.
Walkers?
Clone troopers.
Gotcha.
So
I'm here.
stormtroopers, but from the prequel movie era.
Okay.
So they were clones. And so anyway, so I don't know exactly what's going on here. If it's not actually clones that are in there or what, I don't know, but it looks really interesting. So one of the things that we do see here is that there's some of the Star Wars politics stuff. So Mon Mothma, she was basically the leader of the rebellion, and you see her in Rogue One. She was in Return of the Jedi. Really influential. She was a senator, and she's in tons of the expanded universe stuff. Really cool character, and so she's going to be in this, and I'm excited to see her. It's the same actress that played Mon Mothma in Rogue One. She seems to be playing a pretty big role. Her and Andor her and Cassian, whatever you want to call them, seem to have not a romantic relationship, but like a strong friendship of some kind. They have a good partnership. So I don't know. I think it looks really interesting. I think there's going to be a decent amount of action. I think a lot of it's going to be political.
Oh, lovely, because that's what we need.
Well, not like our politics, but just like,
okay, I understand. Star Wars politics.
Yeah, Star Wars politics.
So not art imitates life.
Yeah, it's not going to be like right versus left issues or whatever. It's
like Supergirl.
No, yeah, not like that.
Okay.
I mean, there might be some of that. They're always inserting certain kind of political messages into media,
which I have no problem with, as long as it's not a driver for the story. Like, yeah, if it overtake, like Supergirl, that was Supergirl's issue. It overtook the story, so you forgot what the story was. Like, it was just so much. You know what I mean? And what's funny is I agree with most of those politics, but it was just so much that it, like, I don't want any more of that.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about that on the show a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no indications at this point that Andor is going to be doing any of that. It's more just Star Wars politics. You got the Senate and the new Empire, and how do you deal with this corrupt government and help overthrow it, like they eventually do, obviously, in Return of the Jedi. So I'm really looking forward to it. August 31st. It's going to be a 2-episode premiere, just like Obi-Wan Kenobi has been, and then it's going to be every week after that. I'm pretty sure it's a 6-episode show. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get more Star Wars content. I am really just over the moon about Star Wars in general. Next on the docket is Skeleton Crew, coming out in 2023. It's going to be a live action show with Jude Law in it.
Oh yeah, I love Jude Law.
Yeah, me too. And we don't know a ton about it, but basically it's supposed to be like a coming of age story. So a good portion of the cast is going to be kids. And like Dave Filoni was saying, that it serves a similar audience that would have liked Clone Wars. So I think it's supposed to be a little bit more kid friendly than the other shows have been. Not that those shows are like not kid friendly,
Yeah.
It depends on your parenting style, but it's supposed to be a little bit more kid friendly. So I think that's kind of cool. I love that Jude Law is going to be in Star Wars. We don't know much else though.
Jude Law's phenomenal, man. Like,
oh yeah.
And I wish we would see, like, for some reason, like Jude Law, I always pair him up with Ewan McGregor. Like, it would be awesome to see those two, maybe because they're two good-looking British dudes. I have no idea why my head does that, but like, it would be awesome to see those two interact with each other.
It would be.
Obviously, this can't happen because it's different times, right?
I think so. I don't know exactly when this takes place, but I think it's post Return of the Jedi.
Sticks. We will make it happen. Let's start an online campaign. Sticks wants to be in Star Wars. Let's make it happen, Max. Let's get the GoFundMe, fly him out to LA or wherever the hell galaxy far, far away, and get Sticks in Star Wars.
Okay, so here's what you can do, Sticks. And you just reminded me of something exciting from this week for me. You can go to this place. It's the happiest place on
On
earth.
Earth.
Or you can go to the most magical place on earth in Florida. Either way, go to Florida, go to California, Disneyland. They got this place called Galaxy's Edge, and you can be in Star Wars.
No, I
And my
want to see
exciting news
Sticks.
is that I'm going to Star Wars again in August. Or Star Wars Land, Disneyland in August. I'm very excited.
I'm going to
about it.
Disney World in February.
Nice.
I'm excited. It's my first time going to Disney World and Universal Studios Orlando. We're going. So, no, but I want to see Sticks in the movie wearing an Absolute Geek shirt.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, free promo for the Absolute Geek podcast.
Okay, so I just fact checked myself. Skeleton Crew takes place after Return of the Jedi.
Which
So
is
it's
which
like
movie?
The 6th movie. That's when
The prequels.
Luke. No, the original movies.
What's the third movie of the prequels called?
Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, and the other one is called what?
Return of the Jedi.
Oh my gosh, I can't keep it straight, dude.
So Return of the Jedi.
Last
is
Jedi, Return of the
when
Jedi,
Luke-
Revenge of the Sith.
When Luke fights Darth Vader with a lifesaver and throws the Emperor Lightning Face down a shaft.
Yeah, just say like let's just you say the third movie or the 6th movie and I'll know what you're talking about.
I did. I said the 6th
only one I
movie.
know. Okay, well, let's just when you say 6th movie, you're talking about the original. The third.
I'm talking about the
originals,
6th
right?
movie chronologically.
Chronologically.
Not the 6th one made.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Chronologically.
only one I know which one it is no, that's not true. I know which one A New Hope is, and I know which one Empire Strikes Back is. All the other ones are a jumbled mess for me.
Yeah.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Well, this is exciting news. It takes place in the same era as The Mandalorian. I'm actually really excited hearing that. I hadn't realized that until I looked up the article. And I'm really excited that it takes place in that era because we've got Ahsoka taking place there. We got Book of Boba Fett. We've got Mandalorian. We were supposed to have the Rangers of the New Republic, but because of the cancellation of what's her name? Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. Cara Dune. I can't remember the actress's name off the top of my head. That show's not happening anymore. Anyways, but this is, and so I wonder if it's going to tie in. I wonder if Jude Law, if his character is going to have some kind of impact in that big world. Yeah, because obviously they're building to a confrontation with Thrawn. I think all of the characters that they've introduced are going to be involved. It'd be really cool if Jude Law and his characters are. Maybe these like kids that he's hanging out with are like Force sensitive, and Luke's going to be training them. Maybe those kids are part of his new Jedi Academy. That could be cool. Maybe not. Maybe they're just, a bunch of mercenaries. But what were you going to say, Lance?
Well, I read, I want to say it was yesterday. I read it with Kathleen Kennedy talking about Star Wars and stuff, and she was saying how most of the new properties we're going to see are away from the Skywalker. Like Kenobi is like one of the last things we'll see that is during that Skywalker period. The Skywalker,
and even that
saga.
One's not like,
but it's in that time frame. Like and Kenobi's whole existence is
depends
Skywalker.
on how you want to look at it, because the Mandalorian's part of the Skywalker saga too. If you look at Rey Skywalker happening 30 years later. Anyway,
yeah.
No, but I saw that news and I'm okay with it. Like Kathleen Kennedy basically saying we're trying to get away from focusing on the Skywalkers and focusing on other characters, and that's great. I just hope that doesn't mean that like we don't get Luke. Like I like seeing Luke in the Mandalorian.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, and I'd be totally okay. And we've said it like so many times on this podcast. I'd be okay if they did more Luke stories. Stop de-aging Mark Hamill. Just bring in Sebastian Stan. I've said it 100 times. A lot less expensive. And
yeah, they're not going to do that though.
Kathleen you're Kennedy not as limited as far as what he can do, right? Because like even with Luke, when they de-aged Mark Hamill, like you notice that they don't do a whole episode with Luke in it, right? Because it just costs too much, and you start to
a lot of work
notice the digital effects and things. Like just bring in Sebastian Stan. Everybody wants it to happen. Marvel listens to us. Why can't Star Wars?
Get someone else in leadership. Kathleen Kennedy literally said this last week or so, that because Han Solo was a failure, they're not going to try to recast old characters like that anymore. And I'm like, okay, that's stupid in my opinion. Anyway, let's move on to the next exciting topic in the world of the Star Wars, which is that a
Dude,
sequel to Jedi
I
Fallen
did
Order
watch this
is coming
today.
out. Yeah, Jedi Survivor, dumb name in my opinion, but whatever. But Cal Kestis's next adventure. What are your thoughts, Lance?
Dude, I love this fucking game. Dude, this game was just it blew me away how good it was. Like you kept telling me, like, Lance, play it, Lance, play it. And I'm like, oh, it's fucking Star Wars. I really don't care. But I played it, and it might be one of my top 10 games ever.
It's a great game.
I love it so much. Like
It's one of my favorite Star Wars games for sure.
Yeah, it's one of the few games that I'm like, oh, I could play that again. Like I loved it that much. Like Uncharted is that for me. I could play Uncharted again. Last of Us, I could play that a second playthrough. And this game. Well, not this game, but
The one
Fallen
Fallen
Jedi.
Order.
What is it?
Fallen
Order. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I'm so excited.
I am too.
I'm more excited about this than any TV or movie that they've announced.
It looks really good. There's a lot of intrigue in the trailer. There's this character in a Bacta tank that we don't know who it is. Some people think it's Revan. I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think that they would put Revan in a video game for the first time. I think they're going to put him in live action when they finally bring in that character. But I think it looks really cool. And this image is beautiful. Pretty sure they're using Unreal Engine 5. Like, this looks incredible.
What should I buy it on? My PlayStation or my Xbox?
Oh, it doesn't matter, dude. It's not going to have like multiplayer or anything. It's going to play well on either one.
Yeah, but which one do you think it would look the best on? My Xbox?
I mean, technically, the Xbox has a better graphics card, but not by a lot.
That's what I struggle with. It's like, oh, which one should I get? Because like PlayStation only has like 10 games that run at 120 hertz.
Yeah, this isn't going to run at 120. There's no way.
Yeah, but they do stretch it as far as it can go, like the games that they've been coming out with Xbox. But PlayStation seems to like dumb theirs down a little bit as far as graphic or visual.
I think visually they look really similar, but sometimes you're right. I mean, I don't think there's as many PlayStation games that can do like 120 frames.
No, there's not. I bought a brand new TV, and then I was like, okay, what game? Like I asked you, Max, what game should I put in? What game should I test out my awesome new TV? And you're like, none of your games do that. So I said, why the fuck did I buy this TV?
Yeah. Meanwhile, I got Halo Infinite and I got the same TV as you, and I'm like, here you go. I could use it immediately. And it's awesome.
That's why I bought an Xbox.
Which is funny because now I don't even have either of my consoles hooked up to that TV. That TV is only for my movies at this point.
You should like get another Xbox and put it in that room.
I haven't played my Xbox in like 2 months. I'm not going to buy another one.
I'm surprised you have it in there because don't you just play those games on your computer?
I play a lot of games on my computer, but I've pretty much just moved all of my gaming into my office. And so the TV I have in my office is a 60 hertz max, and that's fine. But on my monitor, I can do 144 hertz at 1440p, and that is where I play most of my games. But there's some games that I'd rather just play on my Xbox, and then there's obviously the ones that are PlayStation exclusive. Here's what I'll say for the PlayStation version of this game. Obviously, we don't know a ton about it, but PlayStation has really cool features like haptic feedback and adaptive triggers and stuff that Xbox doesn't have. They might implement they might implement some cool stuff with this game that utilizes the PS5.
Watch me buy it on both. I love this game that much. Just watch me buy it on both.
I'm going to get it on PC for sure. That's my intention. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be great. The story so far, based on the trailer, looks like it's going to be fantastic. I think it's a Grand Inquisitor that he's going up against. Yeah. So any other thoughts on this game?
No, dude, I'm just super excited, man. I love this game so much. It's one of my favorite games, and I'm just excited, man.
I got coming out
2023.
Yeah, 2023. I could very easily see that getting delayed to 2024. I don't think it's going to come out until the end of 2023 if it comes out in 2023 at all. Bullshit. I just have no faith anymore when developers say a release date because it's just everything gets delayed all
I
the
gotta be
time.
really
And
careful
that's
when
a good thing because we want the game to run well,
yeah,
but it's just
we
disappointing
don't
at the
want
same
another
time.
cyberpunk fiasco.
Yeah.
I got to be really careful when I say I love this or it's fantastic or it's one of my favorites or something, because Patrick will jump on me like,
He does love messing with you.
yeah,
Like Lance is going
apparently
to
I
say that's his
love
favorite thing
everything.
ever.
Apparently I love everything, but I feel like I hate a lot.
I do too. I don't feel like you do it all the time, but
I just talk about the things that I love and tend to not talk about the things I don't love.
yeah.
Unless it's Batman versus Superman, because that's just me ragging on you.
Yeah. So speaking of not DC and not Star Wars, let's talk about some Marvel news. We've been talking about lightsabers and the Force. Thor, Love and
Yeah,
Thunder released a new trailer this week, and it finally showed us
nudity.
Gore the God Butcher, and it showed us some pixelated Thor tush.
Yeah, can I share something real quick?
Sure.
That
I've got
this is
the
not a real thing. This somebody made this, but I kind of hope it becomes a real thing. Let me put this up here.
oh, that's great. If you're
Yeah.
listening only, you guys got to check that out on the YouTube.
Do you see who?
That's
Let me see.
hilarious.
Do you see who the exclusive is?
OnlyFans exclusive.
I kind of want this to be made just because Funko does do this. Marvel put it in their movie, so I'm sure they could make the figure, but Funko is really good at, a lot of people make these like these fan images, and Funko will sometimes make them. Like they
Yeah.
made the one of Tony Stark snapping his fingers with the gauntlet all covered in dirt and looking dead. They
Mhm.
made that because a fan made a digital image of it. But dude, I would buy this in a heartbeat because I think it's that funny.
It is funny. I think it's hilarious.
And
And I thought the new trailer was a lot of fun.
yeah. Well, Thor doesn't work if it's not fun. Like,
It's
because
true. They tried serious.
Dark World took itself too seriously and it didn't work. Which, by the way, interesting tidbit. So the Dark Elf in Dark World?
Yeah.
Did you know that they offered that role to Benedict Cumberbatch?
I feel like I did hear that. I think he
Yeah,
made
and
the
he
right
turned it
move.
down because he wanted something more substantial.
Well, he made the right choice.
Yeah, he's great
He's
at
Doctor Strange, man.
Yeah, but they offered the Dark Elf. I think that's what its name is in the Dark World. To Benedict Cumberbatch first.
I did not know that. I
Yeah.
feel like I knew I had heard that some other role had been offered to him and he said no, but I didn't realize. I don't think I realized it was that one.
Do you think the movie would have been better with him as the villain?
No, the villain wasn't the problem.
The whole movie
Not
was the
really.
problem.
The whole movie was bad. Yeah. So Styx is saying Christopher Eccleston was great as the Dark Elf. I thought he was fine as Dark Elf. I didn't have any issue with him.
He looks a lot like the Grand Inquisitor in the show that we're going to talk about later. I thought they were the same actor for a second.
I don't really see that, but
Just a very similar, the powdered skin with the bald, like they looked very similar.
okay, I can see that. It's been a while since I've seen Thor: The Dark World, and I don't remember exactly what doesn't work about that movie and what does. I
think
remember thinking it was just
I
kind
think
of
it was
dumb.
Natalie Portman that doesn't work in that movie.
Yeah, well, hopefully she's not the problem in this one. Hopefully this Love and Thunder is going to be awesome.
Yeah,
She is
hopefully.
ripped, by the way. Man,
yeah,
she's jacked.
I wonder how much of that is real. I wonder if any of that's movie magic.
I don't know. I don't know. She
I don't
looks
know.
very buff though. So let's talk about this. And I know neither of us are like super comic readers, so we're not the authorities on it. I'd love to hear from people in the chat. What do you guys think about Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher?
I don't like it. I know enough about comics to know that I don't like this.
Yeah, if I didn't know what he looked like in the comics, I would probably be fine with this look. Because I think he looks cool.
Yeah,
especially in this image. There's some images that he looks awful in the trailer, and others where he looks cool.
He looks too much like a monk to me sometimes in the trailer, like a religious head almost. Where God the Butcher, in the comics has like he has no nose. He kind of has this like squid like demeanor to him that makes him look more menacing, I guess.
Yeah.
I just feel like this isn't anything new. Does that make sense?
It does. And Zaggy's saying that supposedly he's going to morph and look more like the comic version. If so, that'd be cool. I would love that. Trailers are often misleading, so maybe his final look is going to be better. But hopefully, if he does morph, it's not just like we get 2 minutes of him looking cool at the end of the movie,
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so. I don't know. He's supposed to be like a mix between, I forget what the name is of the one in Infinity War and Endgame, that the magic one that's like that's Thanos's like right hand.
The Ma. I don't remember all their names, but
yeah. He's supposed to be like a mix between that and like I would say like Voldemort, like should be his look. In the comics, he looks amazing.
Yeah,
but they did try to pull a couple features. Like there's a scene where he has kind of the cloak over his head and stuff, and but
yeah. So Styx is saying that he thinks he'll start changing into the comic version as he kills gods and the sword takes him over. That'd be really cool if that's the case.
And I hope so, but I don't know if Christian Bale. I think this is a one and done for Christian Bale.
Well, I agree, but like throughout the movie, I think is what Styx is saying. Is that as he's killing gods throughout the movie, his appearance might morph and change.
Well, you see Zeus in the trailer, so I'm assuming at some point there's a
altercation between them.
Altercation, yeah.
Yeah, so I have no idea where the story's going, but I'm excited about it. So we already mentioned it, but we'll just throw this little image up of Thor's booty. So they pixelate it for the trailer, which may only be because it's a YouTube video and they want to pixelate it. Or do you think that in the final movie it's going to be pixelated?
No, I think they're going to show butt.
I mean, I know they can. It's a PG-13 movie. You can show that.
I'm sure they're going to show.
But part of me wonders if like they're going to leave it pixelated for comedic purposes, or if there's some mystical reason, or what. I don't know. I don't. They just never show nudity in the MCU of any kind.
They never show butt. They show.
Don't
they show
so.
Hulk's butt?
Do they? I'm trying to remember. You might be right. Maybe they show Hulk in like the Incredible Hulk. Is that what you're talking about?
I think we get.
Or no, they do it in Thor. Do they do it in the last Thor movie? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they have done it one time then.
I thought they did. Let me see.
Yeah, so Styx thinks that Zeus is as good as dead. I agree. This Zeus doesn't look very formidable. I mean, I guess he does have Thor captured, so maybe he's pretty formidable, but
so did Jeff Goldblum.
That's true.
Was able to catch Thor. So yeah. I'm starting to think that maybe Thor is just pretty easily catchable.
Maybe. Thor also didn't have his hammer at the time, and
he still doesn't. Well, he has Stormbreaker.
He has Stormbreaker, and he's powerful again. He's freaking jacked here. Goodness gracious.
Not like the Funko Pop. The Funko Pop, they gave him a little extra in the Funko Pop picture that I shared. Like, it's all muscle. Like, there's no.
Yeah, so Styx says in the first movie they imply that Thor is naked when they hit him with a truck. Yeah, implication is one thing. I mean, Tony Stark has sex off screen in the first and second Iron Man movies, but
I feel like they wouldn't pixelate it unless there was some explanation as to why it's pixelated.
They probably won't pixelate it.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
I mean, I don't think we're gonna get dong by any means. Or what does Matt call it? Root.
Yeah. No, we're not going to. It's a PG-13 movie. They're not going to.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get that.
No.
But here's the thing. Groot's naked the whole movie, so.
That's true. And Zaggy's saying they dumbed down Thor. He's one of the strongest in Marvel. I mean, I don't read the comics, so I'm sure you're right. But I feel like in the movies, he's pretty darn powerful. Like, they show him as he was the only one capable. Yeah. like I'm saying, I haven't read the comics. I'm just saying, in the MCU, he was the only one that could stand toe to toe with Thanos, really.
But you're talking about strength. They're talking about mental capacity.
Oh, they're talking about.
Yeah,
Well, he's not
they
talking about
dumbed
mental
they
capacity.
they dumbed him down. Yeah, they his mental capacity.
Yeah, I don't think
Like
that's what Zaggy's saying, but you're probably right on both fronts.
that's how I.
I don't know. You could read it that
Oh,
way, but dumbed down doesn't always mean like smarts.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I think. I mean, he's able to stand toe to toe with Hulk at some points.
Oh, he beats Hulk.
Yeah. So I don't think. I don't know. I think he's still pretty. What he is like as far as personality wise, he's completely different than anything I've ever read in the comics. Like the closest we see as what I remember from the comics is the first Thor, like the kind of the royal side of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. This comes out July, is it 8th? I think it's July 8th. I'm going to be on vacation. I'm going to have to see if I can swing a movie night with my brother-in-laws while we're in San Diego.
Yeah. This is definitely worth a movie.
Unless,
Oh, dude, if
unless
you're in
Kelsey
San
wants to
Diego,
go.
if you can go see it in a D box, that's dude. I wish we had that here.
We do. It's just too far away, and I'm not
Yeah, it's
spending
like a surprise.
$5.30 gas prices to go see
Oh,
D-Box.
by the way,
Ridiculous.
my wife's work is in, I don't know if I can say, it's in Florence, like the Santan Florence.
Yeah.
And gas is like almost $1 cheaper in Coolidge.
Yeah, I've
So I
been
told
hearing
her,
it's like $4.45 there. It's like,
yeah. So I told
may
her,
as
I
well.
said, hey, go to Coolidge, fill up my tank so I can drive the car out to Phoenix tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Yeah.
since you're out there. But
Yeah.
no, I feel like his personality is completely different than anything I've read. Like they make him funny. Like in Bro Thor would have never happened in any comics that I read.
Bro Thor, I don't really like. I love this version of Thor, and I don't think they made him like dumb really
No,
until
he's saying
Thor
strength. He
Ragnarok. No,
clarified it's strength.
I know, but
Yeah.
you're talking about his intelligence. I don't think they like made him seem less intelligent until Ragnarok. Like
Yeah,
before then, he
when
seemed
Taika took over.
yeah, before then he seemed just as competent mentally as anyone else. And I don't think that he's incompetent mentally, but they did make him funny. And I think that's the right approach. He was funny in Ragnarok, and he's ever since then, it's been a funny version of the character.
Yeah, I think that's because what we want. Like it always felt like the seriousness side that we saw, like when we saw in the first Avengers and Thor, like the original Thor movie, the best parts are when he's like when he does another,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
that's I was just gonna quote that. That's one of my favorite lines from the first Thor. Another. Shoot, my
Yeah.
wife's not even a nerd, and she knows anytime I like yell another exactly what I'm quoting.
But those are the best parts of the first Thor. I mean, I've just felt like the first Thor was I want to say was probably their least financially producing movie of before Avengers, right?
I can't remember, but you might be right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I have a question before we move on to our Obi-Wan review. Do you think that Thor, this version, this Thor, because I know Natalie Portman is also Thor,
Yeah.
but male Thor is going to continue on? Is Chris Hemsworth going to keep playing Thor after this? Are they going to find some way to kill him off, or not? Maybe not kill him, but like sunset the character. What do you think is going to happen here?
No, I think he's sticking around. I think he's
I do too, and I'll be bummed if he's not sticking around. I love Thor. He's probably my favorite Avenger. Love him.
Oh, Captain America made less than Thor. Interesting. I think Captain America is a far better movie. Iron Man made less than all of them, but it was the first one. As far as box office, I'm just looking at box office.
Yeah.
No, I think he'll carry on. I just don't think like I have no problem if they were to bring in Lady Thor like permanently. But Natalie Portman to me just
You don't like her.
I've met boulders with more personality.
I like Natalie Portman fine.
I like her in some things, just as far as the MCU is concerned, like it just doesn't seem like she fits. And the same could be said with Christine Palmer from Doctor Strange. Like those two, like you look at Tessa, whatever her name is, Valkyrie. You look at Scarlett Johansson, you look at Zoe Saldana, who plays Gamora. You look at all the other female characters in the MCU, and I would say Natalie Portman is the least engaging out of all of them.
Her and Pepper. I don't like Pepper much.
Oh, Pepper Potts. Here's the thing about Gwyneth Paltrow. There's often, I don't even know if she knows she's filming a movie. Like she has said that she doesn't even, like she has come out and said that she doesn't understand what the plots are. She only does her role. Like she doesn't know what's going on. Like she's come out and said that. And it's evident when she films her stuff that she obviously didn't like look at the rest of the script. Like, yeah. But as far as heroes are concerned, I guess Christine Palmer's not a hero per se, but yeah, those three. I mean, you have Haley Atwell, who's just fantastic. Elizabeth Olsen, fantastic. Gamora's awesome. Nebula's awesome. All these strong female characters. Natalie Portman and Christine Palmer was just bad in this last movie.
Yeah, I don't mind her as much as you. So Styx is asking a really interesting question. In the comics, it takes 3 Thors to beat Gore. We know there's going to be 2 Thors, obviously. We got Natalie Portman, we got Chris Hemsworth. Is there going to be a third? Ray. Or, well, do we think Beta Ray is going to be in this movie?
Well, they tease him in Ragnarok.
Do they?
Well, yeah. And when it shows, what's Jeff Goldblum's character? He's not the game master, is he? Is that his name is that who he's playing? Is it the game master? When they show his like tower or whatever.
Yeah, they do show like a statue of Beta Ray Bill, don't they?
Yeah, it's his face. And I want to say Hulk's face is on it too.
Yeah, I think you're right. So, I mean, maybe we get Beta Ray. I mean, I could very well be wrong, and they may surprise us with that. I think that you're not getting a third Thor. I think Valkyrie is going to be the stand-in for the third, like, god that it takes to beat Gore. I think what Styx mentioned, the idea of Gore killing Zeus, Valkyrie's going to get his lightning bolt, and then you're going to have the 2 Thors and Valkyrie. That's who's going to take down Gore. But I could be wrong. I'd be fine with it being Beta Ray Bill. I think that'd be awesome. I don't want to like over expect things, you know?
I think it is Beta Ray. I think it has to be. Like if you sorry, I didn't mean to share this image. I'm just going to the one I just pulled up. Give me 1 second. Oh my gosh. Why is it making me do this? What does this open in? Why can't it open in that? There we go. We'll try this one. Okay, there it is. Gosh damn it. All right, are you seeing that?
Yeah.
So, and apparently they tease Man-Thing in this as well. Is that that true? So that's Ares. This is Ares. This is Bi-Beast. And that's Beta Ray Bill, of course. Trying to see it says Man-Thing, but I don't know which one Man-Thing is. I don't know. I don't think that you would have done this. Like, obviously he exists in some fashion. I don't know.
Korg is going to get Thor powers. That's what's going to happen.
Is Korg powerful though?
No, I don't think so. He's just a rock guy.
Yeah.
I was just being silly. All right. Well, I need to wake up really early. So let's move on to our review of Kenobi.
By the way, I love they released a few more posters like this with some other characters. I really like this poster design because for a while Disney has been kind of phoning it in as far as posters are concerned. This one actually looks really good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I like this, and they've released it for a bunch of the characters.
Have you seen that? Have you seen the uproar when it comes to Disney and their posters?
I have. I've seen that they phone it in, that they're lazy, that they're not very
That they use pretty
intuitive.
much the same design over and over again.
Inventive is the word I meant to say. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, this was a nice little break as far as the same old shit that we've seen. Like they could have easily put Obi-Wan's face there with all the people around him like they could do constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, but instead
nice.
you've got one of his eyes is one sun from Tatooine, and you have the other sun in the background. You got Vader in the silhouette of the big sun. It's cool. It's simple, but it's really cool looking. I love this poster.
Yeah,
I
would honestly like buy this and like put it up in my office. That's how much I like it.
You know what? I want to as well. Which so spoiler warning for those who are listening. We're gonna. I don't think we're capable of not doing spoilers. But before we do full spoilers, do you want to briefly just say a few spoiler-free thoughts?
Well, we can give a synopsis real quick without being spoilers. So this takes place after the prequel trilogy, right? Obi-Wan had his fight with Darth Vader. He gives the Luke and Leia to the two respective families. And we've seen it in the trailer. He's watching Luke from a distance, just being kind of that silent protector or whatever. That's essentially the synopsis of the show. But I mean, I've been hesitant whenever Disney announces something now. Do you know what I mean? Because I've been let down time and time again. I mean, really only The Mandalorian has been like just this amazing thing. Like Loki was good, WandaVision, like all those shows were good, but the last few, that Boba Fett was bad, Moon Knight wasn't very good, and so I just thought this was going to be more of the same, you know. And I was pleasantly surprised, without getting into spoilers. I loved it.
Yeah, you were telling me that your wife was saying she likes it better than The Mandalorian so
She
far.
thinks Mandalorian's stupid.
Oh well, her opinion's bad.
Yeah, her whole thing was like what's the point of it? Like she's like a lot of it's boring, but she didn't really sit down and watch it. Like she walked in while I was watching it, so she only got bits and pieces of it.
Oh well, that's not.
Yeah, but this she got, like I turned it on this morning because I woke up because my back was killing me. It woke me up from my sleep because my back hurt so bad. And so I'm like, well, I can't fall back asleep. So I turned it on at like 6 this morning, and it woke her up, and she watched both episodes with me at 6 o'clock this morning and loved it.
Nice.
Which sucks because now I got to watch all the other episodes with her. But I don't know. What do you have anything you want to say about it without getting into spoilers?
Yeah, I can get into spoilers and just say overall, I thought it was fantastic. There's a couple of missed opportunities that I'll dive into in the spoiler section, but overall, there were surprises I wasn't expecting. That was cool. It was deeper than I was expecting, like very psychological. And I thought it was good. Like, it's not the most high octane heavy action thing you'll ever see, but that's because they're
although his fight scenes are awesome.
Yeah, his fight scenes are good, and they're building, and I like what they're doing with the character. I think it's really intriguing. So, with that said, this is your final spoiler warning. Let's just dive right into it.
Yeah,
because I mentioned some missed opportunities, and so really there's just one big one.
Spoilers.
Yes, spoilers. Yes, there. So here's the biggest one. The episode starts off at the Jedi Temple from Revenge of the Sith, when Anakin would have shown up to kill the Jedi there. When we see that in the movie that he kills all the Jedi. Which, by the way, I thought it was cool that they did a 4-minute recap of like all the movies to give you backstory on Kenobi.
I needed that really bad.
I didn't need that at all, but I thought it was still really fun to do that.
Relive it.
It was cool to relive a 4-minute, synopsis of Obi-Wan Kenobi's story, in all the movies. Anyway, So that it was cool to go back to the Jedi Temple. It was really awesome to see the clones. It
Oh, is
was
that what that was in the beginning
Yeah, it
with
was
the
nice to
kids in the
see
teacher?
Jedi there and a bunch of Jedi in the background and everything. It was cool. But why didn't we see Hayden Christensen show up as Anakin and
Because
kill
they're
some
saving
people?
it.
You think they're going to do another flashback and show
No,
him,
they're
or
just
they just
saying they're just saving his appearance. So the likely that he was there. It's just they're gonna save it. They want us to salivate over it a little bit before
maybe? I'm just saying
just
that
the first episode just blow their load or whatever.
yeah, well, those events are 10 years prior to the main events of the show. So unless they do another flashback, they're not going to show us more of that. I also thought
But
they
you
may
said you
have been
saw it in the movie.
yeah, in the movie we see him go to the
So
Jedi Temple. So obviously we've seen it before. I just thought it would have been really cool here because we know Hayden Christensen's in the show. I thought it would have been really cool to see him there because they showed Grogu. They showed a flashback of Grogu at the Jedi Temple, and I thought, oh, are they going to show like a blue lightsaber approaching him as if it was Anakin? Nope, they didn't do that there. They didn't do it here. I'm just like, why aren't you
they
showing?
showed Grogu in this show.
No. But in Book of Boba Fett, they do a flashback of Grogu, like when he and Luke are talking.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Luke sees into Grogu's mind, and some of his memories from the Jedi Temple, and when the
I
the
blocked most
clones
of that show
invaded
out
and
of my
everything.
memory.
Well, there's some really great moments in that show. So that was pretty much in my mind like the only missed opportunity I can think of. Otherwise, I thought it was absolutely incredible. It was really cool seeing the Inquisitors there. I'm a little shocked that at the end of episode 2, the Grand Inquisitor supposedly
Yeah, it was a
died.
misdirect. That was awesome. So
Well, it's weird because the Grand Inquisitor is in Rebels and is killed by Kanan Jarrus. So is this a different Grand Inquisitor or is he not dead? Like I'm just confused because in the Star Wars timeline, the Grand Inquisitor of that alien race is alive after this. So it's confusing.
the article I read made it seem like that this was after that.
I don't believe
Is the
so.
way I understood it.
I don't believe so. I thought Rebels starts like 5 years before A New Hope.
I read a couple articles that made it seem like this was after the cartoon.
Well, it's after Clone Wars.
So I don't know.
When does Rebels start in the Star Wars?
Six says it's not in the timeline.
So it takes place over a decade after Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. So the Grand Inquisitor should still be alive. Star Wars Rebels, 5 BBY to 1 BBY. So yeah, it should be.
What the hell is a BBY?
It's Star Wars time. How they
What does it mean? Before Baby Yoda?
Before Yavin, I think.
But that doesn't. That's
So
not
I'm
BBY.
I'm looking it up. All right. So So Obi-Wan Kenobi takes 10 years before the Battle of Yavin, which is like New Hope. Star Wars Rebels takes place starting 5 years before the Battle of Yavin. So it's 5 years after Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that Grand Inquisitor is still alive. So is it a different Grand Inquisitor, or is he not dead?
I didn't realize there was a different cartoon that they were talking about. I don't know. All I know is that this show, based on the trailer, did a really good job of misdirecting us a few times. So when we watched the trailer, we thought that this was going to be Obi-Wan and Luke, a boy Luke, right? Because of the trailer, we see him watching Luke from a distance. Like, no, it's not that at all. It very most likely is the entire show, because we've already gotten 2 episodes, so there's only 4 episodes left. The entire show is going to be Obi-Wan and Leia.
Yeah, and that was the surprise that was ruined by Phantom Wire. I didn't know
really?
Leia was in the show, and their
That
freaking
little
headline
girl
is
fantastic.
Their headline was something to the effect of, "Who's the actress that plays young Leia and Obi-Wan?" I'm like, guys, people haven't had a chance to watch the show. Come on.
I think that that they should be a little bit more careful, but I kind of assumed, judging by the trailer, that at some point we were going to see a young Leia.
Really?
At some point.
Had no indication of that.
Yeah, I assumed. I did not know that she was going to be such a focal point, because essentially episode 2 is about Obi-Wan rescuing her,
Yeah,
essentially.
and she does. I think she's a kid actor, so like sometimes she slips up and isn't perfect, but she does a good job of portraying what I would have
Every
expected
time
Leia
she
to be
opens her
like.
mouth, I said, "This is the cutest little girl I've ever seen in my life."
She is cute, but she does a great job playing what Leia would be like at that age. Like Leia's such a headstrong, character, has her own personality. She's stubborn, all of that. She's smart too. Like Leia's always been really smart. There's a reason that she
Well, and
was.
they show you that she may be force sensitive because her mother writes it off as her being intuitive into people's like feelings and stuff like that. But
Mm,
no, that's the force sensitivity.
yeah, which they
Um,
don't even realize until after the Empire's been taken down. But yeah,
yeah,
obviously,
but that I thought that little girl was fantastic. I think
yeah,
she's the highlight of the whole show. Um, every time she opened her mouth, I was like, this little girl is fantastic. I loved her.
yeah.
But it looks like the whole show is going to be about Obi-Wan and her, which you don't get that from the trailer at all.
No, no, you
You
don't.
know, so but the other thing is that seeing a different side of Obi-Wan was nice too, because the last time we saw him, he was very much an active Jedi. He was very much, you know what I mean,
In his
like
prime,
yeah. And this one, he kind of pulls. Is kind of like Luke in the last movie, kind of recluse a little bit. He's just doing his stuff from a distance. He's kind of disowned, or he's kind of
oh, he's beaten.
disavowed the Jedi,
Yeah,
lifestyle and stuff, and he's beaten, and he's works at a meat packing plant or whatever the hell that is, and it was cool to see him in this light where even Jedi have bouts of depression, right?
yeah.
They're humans too. Which I love that line where it says, "You're bleeding all over my floor." He goes, "Well, even Jedi's bleed."
Yeah, or just the fact that this guy had been through years of warfare. He saw his mentor die. He cut a Sith in half. He killed countless other people. Well, I guess mostly droids, but he killed people. Like he has been through a lot, and he saw tons of clones die and fellow Jedi die, and then he had to fight the kid he trained, and he thought he killed him
Mm-hmm.
until the second episode when he realizes Vader's alive. But he thinks that he kills this young man who was supposed to bring balance to the Force and bring hope to the
Who
Republic,
was his apprentice
and
too?
his apprentice and like his brother, like basically. And so he's experiencing a ton of post-traumatic stress as well as depression and all of this. And I feel like they're giving him like the Logan treatment in some regards.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love seeing it. And like, I know you mentioned his fight scenes were good, and they were, but what I liked about that is Obi-Wan from the prequel movies, 10 years earlier, Obi-Wan would have taken out all of those thugs with ease. Like, it wouldn't have even been a contest because he was so tapped into the Force, and he would have just not had any issue with them. But here, he's kind of cut himself off from the Force
Yeah.
to where when Leia falls, he catches her, but it almost seemed like it was hard for him. Whereas Obi-Wan in the movies, he could pick up droids and throw them across the room. He was, really powerful in the Force. He could jump into the air with, super high. His reflexes were fast. And, we see him
Yep.
in Empire Strikes Back. He does like Force speed and all sorts of stuff. Like Obi-Wan in his prime at that time was one of the most powerful Jedi ever. I mean, he went toe to toe with Anakin, the most powerful Jedi to ever exist. Luke, I guess, is supposed to be even more powerful than Anakin, but like it's crazy. It's just
Well, and
really.
that just shows you at some point in this show we're going to see him re-tap into it. So he's
Yeah,
gonna,
absolutely.
yeah,
Because by the by A New Hope, he is powerful enough in the Force that he just gives himself up to Vader, and then it becomes a Force ghost. Like
mm-hmm.
he's very powerful in the Force, and he's training Luke, and he's got like hope again, and it's a different character in A New Hope. 9 years later, at this point, or whatever it's going to be, 9-10 years later.
A New Hope is 9 or 10 years later.
It's after this.
Oh,
Yeah, Luke's like 20.
His age doesn't really line up.
No, it doesn't, and that's always been a joke, but it is what it is. You know, they cast Ian McGregor to play a
He
young
should
version
still
of
be a young
Obi-Wan,
man
and
in A New Hope then.
he should be not nearly as old. But you can still make the joke that the Tatooine sun ages you. You know, he's got 10 years to look like Alec Guinness. But whatever, it is what it is.
I just liked how fun it was, and Kumail Nanjiani makes an appearance
Oh, he was great.
as a fake Jedi, and I love him. Ever since I saw him in Silicon Valley, and
did you believe for a second he was a Jedi? Because I
No.
didn't. Yeah,
No.
me neither. I'm like, this is
as soon as he said, as soon as like he was talking about credits, like that's when it solidified it for me, because no Jedi ever does that stuff for credits.
No.
Yeah, so that solidified it for me, but I was assuming that he wasn't a Jedi, you know, based on like
He was like
the room
flaunting
that he
the
was
Force.
sitting.
I'm like, in the world today, you would not flaunt that. And then even more so when he's pretending to do a Jedi mind trick over the radio. I'm like, I've never seen a Jedi do a mind trick remotely. It was so silly. It was so clearly, you know, con man work. But he was awesome. I loved him.
Yeah, I loved it too. He was my favorite part of Eternals, and I don't think he was in it enough.
He wasn't in Eternals enough, and he was fun in that.
Yeah, like the Bollywood type actor.
Yes.
Like, oh, dude,
it was funny.
And by the way, if you haven't had a chance to watch The Big Sick, which is a movie he wrote about him and his wife, it's like a true story.
Oh, it's awesome.
Fantastic movie. And he does such a great job. He wrote and directed it, I think. I know he wrote it with his wife, but he might have directed it too. And that movie is just so good. I've watched that movie at least like 5 or 6 times.
I've only seen it the once, but it is very good.
It's heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's great.
Great movie. But this was a nice, you know, penance for making us sit through Moon Knight as far as Disney Plus is concerned.
Yeah. So some people I've talked to are saying that the show is slow. Do you think it's slow?
This?
Yeah.
Kenobi?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I agree with you. Like, sure, he hasn't ignited his lightsaber. He's not using the Force a ton. He's not doing flips and whatever. But that's because he's cut himself off. Like, I think
thought
it's
it was
building pretty well.
extremely. Yeah, I
good
thought it was
action. I think it's very tense. I think there's a lot going on. I don't think it's slow.
slow could be Moon Knight. Like, that's what I would classify as slow. Like, it took 3 episodes to explain what the hell was going on, and you still didn't know until the end. Like this, like, you know what's going on from Point Break, dude. Like, I didn't think it was slow at all. And plus, it's called Kenobi, and you actually get Kenobi in it.
That's true.
You know, I don't know. I thought it was awesome. And then Owen, I forget the actor's name.
I'm forgetting his name too, but
he's from Bright and what is it, The Fighter? Is that what it is? Or Warrior? It's one of those two.
Yeah.
Great actor.
Joel Edgerton.
Edgerton. Right? Yeah, Joel Edgerton. Like, I really liked his scenes that he had in this, where he kind of said, "Stay away from my kid," you know, and that line about, like, how well did you train his father? You know what I mean? I was like, ooh, massive burn.
Sick burn.
No pun intended. Because, you know, Darth burned. Sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't realize I had to explain that one.
Sorry, I just saw a notification. It's fairly recent news. Star Wars is going to have a movie releasing in 2023. That's the Taika Waititi one. I don't know if it has a name.
Yeah, I saw that one. I saw that headline.
I hadn't seen that. That's exciting. There hasn't been a movie since 2019, so.
And Kevin Feige's thing is supposed to be happening that year too, I think. Or is it 2024?
I'm not sure about that.
The article I read about Taika Waititi's movie also mentioned Kevin Feige's movie, and I think it was
So
Kathleen
his will be
Kennedy.
the first to play in theaters since The Rise of Skywalker, and it's targeting a late 2023 release. So I don't think there's going to be anything else in 2023 if this is
No,
late.
no, I'm pretty sure Kevin Feige's comes after that. So, but I don't think it's long after that. So it's probably that the 2024 summer, I bet you. But there's a lot of good stuff coming out.
Yeah.
As far as Star Wars
Anyway,
is
we
concerned.
can get back to Kenobi. I just thought that was cool.
I don't know what else to say about it except that it's awesome. Like I had a smile going from ear to ear. Like I loved every second of it. I thought it was great. I thought it was really well written. I think Ewan McGregor is a treasure. Like I love Ewan McGregor
for sure.
By
the way, the action was good. I thought,
yeah,
the story was really well written. I thought the music was awesome. Not done by John Williams, but obviously inspired by Williams. Just so much fun. I loved seeing the Inquisitors in live action. I was worried. I mentioned it on the show previously that I thought they looked off and they didn't look good. But you know what? Seeing them in the show in action, I loved it. The third sister, I can't remember her name, but
they just call her the third sister all the time.
Do they? I thought she had a name too, but anyway,
maybe.
I think she's really an interesting character. I'm excited to see more from her. The Inquisitors are something that Disney added to Star Wars lore. That wasn't something that really existed prior to Disney buying the company or buying the IP. And I think they're a great addition. They're not Sith, so it doesn't violate the whole rule of two thing, but they are Force users and they use the dark side.
He goes on to say that Obi-Wan goes on to say that most of them are former Jedi that are now hunting their own. That was the other misdirect that I want to talk to you about. Was in the trailer you think the Grand Inquisitor is the villain, but it looks like it's the third sister is going to be the villain through the whole show. So it was another little misdirect,
and that's again what I'm confused about because the Grand Inquisitor is supposed to be alive 5 years from now, so
maybe he is alive. Maybe he's in a bacta tank for 6 episodes.
Yeah. He might be alive. They might rescue him, and yeah,
he looked pretty dead to me. Like
he did, and that's why I'm saying maybe that's not the Grand Inquisitor from Rebels. Maybe there's a completely different Grand Inquisitor that looks very similar, and it's just a coincidence. But
yeah,
I don't think so. I think he's alive. I think that's supposed to be the one from Rebels, and he's alive. But
by the way, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, Flea.
Yeah, Flea was in it.
Yeah, he was the bounty hunter that kidnapped Leia.
Stoned.
Yeah,
stoned on spice.
I loved seeing Bail Organa. He was in the prequel movies. He was in Rogue One briefly.
Which one's he?
He's Leia's dad.
Oh, yeah.
He, it was fun to see him again. It's all these callbacks. So as a millennial, like I grew up watching Star Wars, but like my Star Wars movies when I was growing up were the prequels. Yeah. So there is so much nostalgia there for me. I've always liked the prequels. I've never really hated on them. Like, I mean, I shouldn't say I've never hated on them. Like 1 and 2 are not good movies. I acknowledge that, but I love watching them. And 3 has some pretty atrocious dialogue, but it's still one of my favorite Star Wars movies. And I saw that probably I saw it probably 3 or 4 times in the theaters. And back then when I was in high school, that was a lot. So I have tons of nostalgia tied to these movies. And so seeing Bail Organa come up on the screen was great. Obviously seeing Obi-Wan, Ian McGregor's Obi-Wan again, so exciting. That last still in the episode 2 when you see Obi-Wan and Vader connecting via the Force, and you see Vader and his bacta tank. Oh my gosh, dude, it gave me chills. That was awesome.
I didn't realize they were connecting.
That's what I took from it.
I didn't realize that.
So good. I'm thrilled with this. Like you said, there have been a couple misses with Moon Knight. What If really wasn't that good. I loved the last 3 episodes of Book of Boba Fett, but the other, 4 episodes were stinkers for the most part. It's been fairly rough when it comes to the shows of late. She-Hulk looks pretty bad.
Ooh, they updated. Did you see they
I
updated the
did, and it
trailer?
doesn't look any different. It looks
I
terrible
think it
still.
looks much better.
Well, I only saw stills. I didn't watch the trailer again, but the stills I saw showing side by sides, I'm like, it looks the same. It
Oh
reminded
no,
me of the
you can
Pam.
actually see like the pores on her skin now. She doesn't look so much like plastic.
Maybe I'll watch the
Um,
new trailer, but when I saw it, I was just like, it's the same picture. It's the same thing.
oh no, I could definitely tell a difference that it looked
Mm.
much better. It still doesn't look great. What's funny is how many times I read online. Imagine what this would have looked like if it was Allison Brie, which I've been saying for years now that I wish it was Allison Brie of
Yeah.
Community. How good would this look if it was Allison Brie? How good would like just over and over again on Twitter, people saying this.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think Allison Brie would have been fantastic. But oh yeah, Sticks even he's asking if you had your glasses on. I thought it looked a million times better.
Well, I haven't seen the full trailer, so
Well, even in
is
the
there a new
stills,
one or
like
is it just
it's the same trailer. They just updated the effects in it. So like the biggest difference and my biggest issue with the original design was that her skin was just like flawless. Like it looked very plasticky. So that's where I drew the comparison to Fiona from Shrek, who's a cartoon. Obviously, she doesn't have blemishes and stuff. She
okay?
looked
So
very much like Fiona because her skin was just flawless.
yeah,
In this, they actually add like the pores and the scars in her face and stuff. Like she looks
okay.
human.
I'm
Like,
watching the trailer again now, and I've only seen the like back image of her, but it looks better already. So
but it still
I'll
doesn't look great. So I'm not trying to say that this looks amazing. What I'm saying, it does look better. My biggest concern is I've just heard there's a whole lot of issues as far as production is concerned.
yeah.
So I hope it's good because I've been clamoring for She-Hulk show for a while now. And I hope that we get to see Charlie Cox in it at some point.
That would be cool.
Um,
Yeah, I don't. This doesn't look much better, dude. I don't know what you guys are on. This still looks bad.
I thought it looked amazing, or not amazing. I don't want to say that. I thought it looked a million times better.
Yeah. Okay. It looks a little better. Looks a little better.
See if I can pull up a side by side.
The pictures I
Actually,
saw didn't look any better.
so here this is a good side by side of it. Let me see here real quick. Share screen.
It's the Disney Plus trailer only, by the way. Okay, so maybe I need to go find that one then because I'm on the Marvel Entertainment trailer.
So look at these two images right here.
Okay, hold on. Where is it? What the heck? Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, so
You
see that let me save it so
you
I
don't
can
need to save it.
bigger.
We can
Well,
see it.
I'm just gonna make it bigger.
All right.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that's way better. I see what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Maybe the article I saw didn't upload high-res images or something because I'm like, that doesn't look any different. It looks just as bad. Yeah, that's better for sure. That looks more realistic.
And it still doesn't look great, but in here she looks like a cartoon.
She looks like a video game.
Yeah, and like Fiona from Shrek.
Yeah.
You know, you give her the little ears out the side of her head and she's Fiona from Shrek. But here you can actually see like the coloration in her lips is different. The definition from skin to lips, like you can actually see that more defined feature.
Are her eyebrows even better too?
Yeah, her eyebrows you see more texture in it. The hair too. Like look at all this green tint in the hair. And here there's a lot more brown.
Yeah.
You see that? And then and then the shadowing, like you can really tell with the shadowing.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That does look a lot better.
Yeah, because that's really what She-Hulk should look like, because she's not supposed to be as big as the Hulk, right? The Hulk is this ginormous tank like personage, right? Like he, but She-Hulk, Jennifer, is it Jennifer Walters? Is that her name?
I don't know, dude.
I think it's Jennifer Walters. She can operate in the real world looking as She-Hulk, right? Like, so really what she looked like is a big woman with like a green tint to her, like not this freaking cartoon that they first came out with. I was really disappointed when I first saw the trailer, but just by this image alone, it looks much better.
Yeah, that image is much better, so gives me hope.
Yeah, but
You know.
like I said, there's been a lot of stuff going on about the production of the show, so
Yeah. Well, any final thoughts on Obi-Wan before we close up shop tonight?
yeah, Sticks, I saw it on Disney Plus. He was saying if you watch the YouTube trailer, it doesn't look any different. But the Disney Plus trailer, I didn't realize it was only on Disney Plus that they updated it, but
All right,
that's where I
after the
saw
show, maybe I'll go watch the trailer because I was like trying to find a Disney Plus version of the trailer on YouTube and couldn't find
it.
it. So it's only the trailer you can find on the Disney Plus app. I'll check it out. Because the YouTube trailer, I'm like, this doesn't look any better. What are you guys talking about? I was trying to like trick my mind into thinking, oh, the green looks better, but it looked
no.
bad.
I noticed that it wasn't updated because all of them said like 8 days ago or something like that.
Yeah,
like none of them said uploaded a day ago.
And that's what I was thinking. I'm like, wouldn't it have to have been a re-upload? And
yeah, they'd have to delete the old one and then re-upload the thing, and they're not going to do that because
the views
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they may do like a trailer number 2 that's a completely different look, but they're not going to do that yet.
Sure.
By the way, Jurassic Park comes out in a week and a half, right?
Yeah, June 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be the next movie I go see in theaters. Well, I might go see Top Gun.
I might go see Top Gun. I just don't know when I have time. All right. Well, I'm good. Go watch Obi-Wan.
Yes, definitely go watch Obi-Wan. Let's take this spoiler warning off, and we'll close out the show.
Yeah, and if you're at Fan Fusion tomorrow, come look for Matt and I. And Jay will be with us too. So come find us.
Absolutely. Well, hey, it's been a fun episode, Mr. Lance.
Yes,
This has been a good time talking about Star Wars, my favorite topic.
I actually enjoyed talking about it. I'm not big Star Wars guy, but I really liked this show. So
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, I really liked it. So one of the better things I've seen recently.
Oh, I'm so hyped.
Yeah.
Star Wars is awesome. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Sticks in the chat, Patrick. We had fantastic comics in the chat. Appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out with us. It's been a good time. If you guys want to go to Fan Fusion tomorrow and meet up with Lance and Matt, reach out to us. Message the Absolute Geek channel on Facebook or Instagram, or some of you that are regular listeners or friends with us on social. Reach out to us that way. But I'm sure they would love to meet up with you. But for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I am Max.
I am Lance.
And we will see you next time.
All you freaks and geeks,
come all you freaks and geeks, let's listen to Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek.
We'll go ahead and spread our cheeks. Kenobi.
Spread the cheeks.
And
spread the
cheeks. Cosby wine.
We'll drink some Cosby wine. It makes me feel real fine.
Hey.
See you next time on the Absolute